हाय गुड मॉर्निंग. इस एनर्जी से काम नहीं चलेगा. हाय गुड मॉर्निंग. Wonderful, superb. I'd like to thank Team Cafe for giving me this wonderful opportunity of sharing my insight with this August gathering. So when I was given this topic, how do you go beyond this? How do you go beyond reference to acquire a client? I believe let's be very clear with the fundamentals. अब say for example I go to a customer और मैं उसे कहता हूँ कि सर आपके कोई फ्रेंड इंटरेस्टेड हो तो बताइएगा. टेक्निकली दैट इज नॉट अ रेफरेंस, दैट इज अ फेवर. येस और नो? इफ आई गो टू अ कस्टमर एंड से कि सर आपके कोई कस्टमर या फ्रेंड इंटरेस्टेड है तो बताइएगा, दैट इज नॉट अ रेफरेंस, दैट इज अ फेवर. लेट अस कम टू द सेकंड पार्ट. वन ऑफ माय क्लाइंट इज हैप्पी. ही इज हैप्पी विथ माय सर्विस. ही बिलीव्स दैट द वैल्यू दैट आई ब्रिंग टू द टेबल इज फैंटास्टिक. वो मुझे कहता है धनंजय एक काम कर, मेरा एक दोस्त संतोष है, इससे एक बार बात कर ले. That is what technically for me is reference, but I believe the world has moved beyond reference. The world is looking at introduction. So if I am doing great and if I have a client who is satisfied with my services, what I am going to ask him is, sir, आपने सुरेश जी का नंबर तो दिया है. What can we do is, can we have a WhatsApp group wherein you can just give a small intro about me? Like Suresh, I have been dealing with Dhananjay for last 15 years. He has added lots of value to me. He has helped me to create a better portfolio. So that is where the kick happens. क्योंकि अगर मैं client को call करता हूँ, if I call a client and say that कि sir I got a number from Prabhu sir and he want me to speak to you, that will not create that kind of kick when it is an introduction mode. So what I believe is the world is moved towards introduction rather than reference. So this is what will be the next thing that you need to focus on when you want to actually go for reference. But let's come to the active strategy, because we believe that right now India is a market where there is still potential for active funds. Yes or no? We believe that active investing is still, we have that kind of investing market we have, we can do the cherry picking and all. So when we think about reference, it is called karam marketing. It is not karam marketing, it is karma marketing. मैंने client का अच्छा किया है और मैं assume करता हूँ कि अच्छा किया है तो मेरे को reference देगा. Right? That is karma marketing. But what we need to focus to acquire new client is karma marketing. I'm a firm believer of the fact that there are 1,000 people in the market. Only thing is, we need somebody to go out, approach the customers, and ensure that you have to work on a business with a logic and a model that is called harkat mein barkat. That is called harkat mein barkat. I believe the kind of activity that you need to do. I'll give you one wonderful example. एक बार ना एक कांस्टेबल एक इंस्पेक्टर को पूछता है, भाई मेरे को एक बात बता, एक अच्छे वकील और एक बड़े वकील में फ़र्क क्या होता है? इट्स अ वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन. इंस्पेक्टर, ए कांस्टेबल इज आस्किंग टू एन इंस्पेक्टर, मेरे को एक बात बता, एक अच्छे वकील और एक बड़े वकील में क्या फ़र्क होता है? तो इस इंस्पेक्टर ने उसे रिप्लाई किया, अच्छा वकील कानून को जानता है और बड़ा वकील जज साहब को जानता है. And so this is the understanding of business you need to have. Sir, as a distributor, if you believe that you are going to get customer on board just because of your knowledge, it's a myth. I believe that knowledge is just a foundation. If you want to acquire your client, you need to create structure on that foundation. If you are not able to create structure on that foundation, acquiring a client will become difficult. Because when you go to different sessions across country, there are people who can give you fantastic ideas. This is how you can approach. People will say that you do go out in the market and deal with confidence. We know that we have to go to the market and deal with confidence. लेकिन problem है, confidence आएगा कहाँ से? When you talk about public speaking, they say that आपको stage पे जाके public से confidence से बात करनी है. That we all know, but the important thing is, how do we get that confidence? What is the foundation point? So say for example, if somebody is from tier 3 city, somebody is from a metro, somebody is from maybe a state capital, the acquisition strategy for client will change based on the market. So if somebody says that you put a hoarding and client will come after looking at the hoarding, yes, that can work when you are in a tier 2 or tier 3 city. But that will not work in a metro. That will not work in a bigger capital. So for bigger capital, what can work for you is a glow signboard strategy. That is what it can work. So what I am saying is, whenever we are given a particular insight, a strategy to acquire client, just find out 3 factors. First is whether I have that particular market. क्या मेरे पास वो market है जिसमें मैं strategy apply कर सकता हूँ. If I don't have that market, applying the strategy can go for a toss. Like for example, we have attended a training program wherein people say that जो आदमी रिटायर हो गया है ना उसके पास बहुत पैसा है. The people with grey hairs have lots of money. ये काले वाले बाल क्रेडिट कार्ड से चल रहे हैं. Yes or no? So what happens is when we know that कि yes, retire client के पास पैसा ज़्यादा है, तो you have to focus on retire client. लेकिन you have to understand that वो बंदा जो आपको ये suggestion दे रहा है, the person who is giving you the suggestion, he is coming from an area where there is an industrial belt. There are people who are retiring every year. He has the data so that he can acquire the client based on that particular data. So if you are in a market where there are no industries, technically you don't have a plant and you don't have a data of people who are retiring and you're focusing on people who have retired, it may not work for you. There are some sessions wherein you will be said that कि sir you have to acquire NRI client क्योंकि NRI client के पास बहुत पैसा होता है, but you have to look at the fact that whether they are there in your market or not. Just because somebody has said with you a thought that yes, this is what you need to do, it will not apply in your market. So the first strategy for acquiring a client is know your market first कि आप कहाँ से आ रहे हैं. That is the first thing. And the second thing is know your capabilities. That is very important. If you don't understand your capabilities, it is very difficult for you to apply any given strategy, right? If you don't work on your capabilities, you won't be able to apply any strategy. Right now, people are saying that, Dhananjay, IAP करने से client आएगा? I said, yes, IAP करने से client आएगा. But the problem is they don't understand what IAP exactly is all about. We believe that IAP is wherein I'm standing and there are 500 people who are addressing. Answer is no. You can go out and you can do an IAP with the electricity board department with 5 people who are sitting there in front of you because your market is different. So the conception of IAP से client आएगा, yes, it will come, but again, you have to find out which kind of IAP will work in your market or not. Like for example, as Mr. Mehta said, every maybe after 6 months or every 8 months, you can have a gathering of your existing client. But try to understand, there are 2-3 things you have to be very clear. When you do any gathering of your existing client, you don't try to become a speaker in the event. You can just have an intro talk. Let somebody external come and give that message loud and clear because you are not professionally into communicating with people in an open podium. So what happens is, if I have a customer, मेरे पास एक customer है, wherein he is an existing customer, I am doing an IAP. If I ask him, please come with your 2 friends, you can do it, but do ensure that you hire somebody professional because when you want to drive a session for 60 minutes to 1 hour, अगर वो सामने वाले को kick और mileage नहीं मिलेगा, वो आपसे connect नहीं होगा because everyone is into different league. A trainer has a different skill set. A MFD will have a different skill set. A fund manager will have a different skill set. So if I am a trainer, because it's my profession, it's my trade, I know that this is how you can connect with people easier. But when you do a one-to-one connect with the customer, you are fantastic in that. Yes or no? So when I have a client, I know that कि मेरे को बहुत सारे partner ये कहते हैं कि धनंजय, तो कोई भी client को मेरे सामने बैठा दे, मैं उसको convince कर देगा, लेकिन stage में जाने में दिक्कत आती है. No problem. Boss, you have to create that network. Like for example, if I want to have a network of people who are chartered accountant, definitely I can do it. I can have a chartered accountant wherein I can collaborate, I can get the work done. So हर चीज़ इस दुनिया में आपको करनी नहीं है. Life is too short that you can do everything. What I am saying is you just work on your domain expertise. So this is the second way. IAP is a fantastic way of acquiring client. Only thing is you need to just understand the basics of IAP, right? The first thing that people have in mind is, Dhananjay, everyone is saying you do IAP, then how do I get inroads? How do I get that organization where I can do an IAP? That is important because doing an IAP is not easy, but getting an IAP is more difficult. If I go to an organization, मैं उसको कहता हूँ कि sir, I want to do a session for your employees on financial literacy, वो इतने सारे सवाल पूछेगा, do you have answer for that question? Answer is no. So what my suggestion is, before attending any sessions on how to do an IAP, first attend a session how to get an IAP. Yes or no? Before doing, you need to get an IAP, right? Before you need to get that platform right, you need to get the stage right. That is the second part. Third is be active in social media. This is the powerful tool. To be very honest, I come from a very small place called Cuttack, Orissa. I'm not from Mumbai or Gujarat. I'm the only odd man out in the entire panel of the speaker. The reason why I'm here today is just because of the sheer media presence that I have. Location is not a barrier because to be very honest, if somebody asks me कि sir मैं किस तरीके से अपना social media improve करे so that I can acquire a client, I always say that don't look like a distributor or an agent in social media. You have to look like a financial icon. Your post has to be beyond SIP, to be very honest. If your post is on SIP and insurance, people will not look at you as a financial icon. And that is where people don't try to get connected with you. Because the people who are desperate for sales, sales will not come to them. There is a simple analogy. People love to buy, but they don't like to be sold. Sir, how many of you believe that each and every client of yours needs a term insurance? Can you raise your hand? Everyone, right? How many of you believe that mutual fund is a fantastic product? Everyone, right? How many of you believe that we all need a health insurance? Everyone, right? तो सब जानते हैं फिर client हमसे लेता क्यों नहीं है? The reason why the client is not buying and we are trying to convince and we are trying to do the follow-up is just because of the fact that we are starting selling him. उस जिसको आप बेचने की कोशिश करोगे वो आपसे दूर चला जाएगा. That's the beauty of sales. Sales का सबसे best part है कि you don't have to sell, it has to be effortless. When you project yourself as a financial icon, how can we do it? Like for example, today is an event. There are fantastic speakers. We have Navneet sir, we had Manish sir, we have other people, other speakers. When you are there outside for a lunch or maybe during the tea and coffee break, take some photos with them, post it on your social media, just write it down. Today I was discussing about market outlook with one of the CEOs. That creates an kick, that creates an impression about you कि ये बंदा जो है ना, he's connected to the top fund managers, he's connected to the top CEOs, he's connected to the people who have a voice in this industry. That's called borrowed authority. उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? Borrowed authority. Say for example, I have posted a pic with the Prime Minister of the country. What will be the perception of people? Anyone? If I put a pic with the Prime Minister of the country, मेरा perception कैसा बैठेगा market में? It will be influential, right? कि बड़े साहब के साथ फोटो खिंचाए मतलब he has the reach. What I am saying is whenever you come to this kind of platform, use this platform to do Shakti Pradarshan. That is the right word. That means I am connected with good people. Yes or no? I believe this is a platform to do Shakti Pradarshan. If I would have been in your place, I need to ensure that I meet the best in the town, best in the country. सामने वाले को लगेगा ना, sir, I was there in Mumbai, I was discussing with Mr. Sunil Subramaniam about market, this is what his take was. तो वो कहता है कि ये बंदा जो है ना, he's in touch with good brains. ये छोटी छोटी चीजें, the kind of stuff that you post in social media becomes important. I don't post about my anniversary, I don't post on anything, because that is where my brand building happens. लोग मुझे परसीव करते हैं कि yes, कुछ अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है, फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग करनी है, तो वहाँ से आप कर सकते हैं. Sitting at that place just because of the media presence, my posting. Right now I do TV show for G Business, DD News, ET Now. Last year I've been awarded my doctorate in financial literacy. What I'm doing is saying is, your location is not a barrier. The only barrier is the mindset that you have created. And the world of sales always says we need positive people. People say that Dhananjay, after 2 years the expense ratio is going to fall. I said yes, it is going to fall. लेकिन आज ज़्यादा मिल रहा है तो आज ज़्यादा काम क्यों नहीं कर रहा है? Because we are into a comfort zone. Technically, the reward to effort ratio in our industry is very huge. Like for example, if I give an effort of 1 rupee, we are getting a reward of 5 rupees. That is what current scenario is. But there is still arbitrage that can be done. So my point is very clear over here. When you want to acquire a client, you have to understand that irrespective of your AUM, whether you might be standing in a 100 crore AUM or 50 crores AUM or 200 crore AUM, सेल्स का बंदा जो हर हफ्ते में एक बार ग्राउंड की मिट्टी टेस्ट नहीं करता है ना, he will be out of sales. The problem is because he doesn't understand what is the changing trends, what is the changing pattern, what is the changing habit, how can we connect with people in better thought process. So my firm belief is very clear. IAP is one mantra that is important. And last and most important is, right now people are joining BNI, people are joining Rotary Club, people are joining Lions Club. They believe that when I do networking with these people, this will give me business. Answer is no. I believe that when you join a BNI, your expectation should not be business from the house. Your expectation should be through the house. So you don't have to sell to the house, you have to sell through the house. So if I join BNI, I will not sell a 5,000 SIP to my colleague. I will ask him, bhai, can you give me some platform where I can talk about financial literacy? These people have good influence. They can introduce me to some people who have 40, 50 manpower in the organization. Because if I sell him an SIP of 5,000 rupees, and after 6 months when I am in the same meeting, वो मेरा को portfolio दिखाएगा, देख भाई 5,000 का डाला था, 28,000 रुपया हो गया. Yes or no? So don't do sales with people who are a part of your network. That is where we are going wrong. We are joining the organization. We believe that कि मैं यहाँ sales करेगा. No, it will never happen that way. So I believe use this network to create more network. That is how the strategy will be. So if you can work on this, I believe that we have great times ahead. So thank you so much. We have 11 seconds left. So मारवाड़ी आदमी है. मैंने 7 सेकंड बचा लिए हैं. Thank you so much.